Oh yeah, right, we got some great hooks at Vardis, so I thought I'd give you a bit of an insight on what sort of hooks and patterns we do. For starters, we do 3 different colours. We've got the standard, we got the green, and we got the brown. So whatever type of lake bed or situation you're in, you can match up a colour if you so wish. But I'll go through the hook patterns with you, which we do in barbless and barbed versions, well, micro barbed versions. So I'll take you through those and show you the range we have. Right then, first one up is the AntiSnag. This one's in size 6, micro barbed. The trick is with these, they've got a really strong shape to them. Quite a thick gauge hook, quite a large eye, which all the Vardis hooks have. It makes it a lot easier for tying you know, thicker materials for where you want stronger materials for either your snag fishing and that type of thing, or even if you're fishing abroad. This particular hook, very sharp point. Basically the classic shape where it's quite nose heavy and straight eye, and basically that's our snag hook, really strong hook. You'll never get one of these to open out. One of the classic hooks, and to be honest, one you shouldn't be without in your box. Right, I'll go on to the next one. Our Drig hook, which is a lot of the times is known as a long shank hook. It can be used for loads of different rigs, to be honest. I'll pop one out for you. You can get a look at that. Right, so we also do these in barbed and barbless, and the 3 different colours, the same as the rest. Classic shape, quite a long shank, which is obviously by the name, but it's a Drig hook we call it, but generally they're a long shank hook. They you can use, like, these make a good for blowback. Some people use them as for pop-up rigs, but generally I'd use these for a bottom bait rig, and they work really well with a ring on or even a tiny swivel. You generally find these hooks slightly further back in the mouth, so these are in a larger size for big carp. Not many will fall off that, and they're basically a classic hook, and again razor sharp. Right, next one up. Right, we've got a classic boilie hook, which is a curved point, which let me hold that up for you and show you. Pop one out the packet. We got a curved point on that hook, micro barbed again, slightly thinner in the gauge of metal on these, slightly lighter weight hook, which will make these absolutely ideal for floater fishing, zig fishing, or open water fishing if you want a really cute bit of a finesse sharp hook. You've got a curved point on these with a slightly wide gauge sort of pattern, almost boxy shape. It does help having that curved point, so you're not digging into the bone, and when you're playing the fish they actually curve into the flesh, keeps the hook point away from the bone, and basically gives you a brilliant hook hold. So I'll go on to the next one. Right, next one is a favourite one of mine, Chud hook. To be honest, you'd have to open a packet of these to see actually how sharp they really are. Brilliant shape. They've got a tiny little curved point to them, just a very slight curve on the point. They outturned eye, so basically if you're using a stiffer material, your material will come off straight, because obviously you always want your line coming from the front of the eye for hooking purposes and that. Quite a strong gauge metal, quite a long point. The barb's quite close to the point, slightly hooked over point, so when they hook in, they really do hook in. And to be honest, any sort of stiff material, whether it's a stiff material for a bottom bait or your chod fishing, these would be an ideal choice, to be fair. Right then, next one in the range is the gripper hook. it's basically another favourite shape of mine, to be fair, because I do prefer this shape for me, snowman rigs, blowback rigs, and me safe 360 rigs. I do really like it. It's either a curve point or a curve shank. Generally you'll find those will give you the best hook holds, because a straight point with a wide gape sort of pattern, generally I've found over the years I seem to be hooking them in the bone, in the lip. So just either having a curve shank or a curve point does help massively. Also available in the barbed or barbless, micro barbed or barbless. 3 different colours again, your green, your brown and your standard. Really nice curved shank, basically quite a standard curved shank, quite short as well in the shank. Basically from the hook point straight down there's a nice gap to keep that gape open, and a very, very strong pattern of hook, and really is, once you hook a fish on these they generally don't fall off at all. Right, last but not least, it's basically a long shank curved shank hook. I'd probably recommend these for waters where you have got large fish. Small fish, you know, I've seen people use these for a 360 rig. Out of choice I prefer my safe 360 rig, which I'm sure you'd have seen on the website before. But with these, with larger fish, they're great. So in Europe these would be a fantastic choice of hook. But in the UK, with smaller fish where you're a bit unpredictable what size fish you're actually going to hook, I'd probably go for a shorter shank and a bit more shrink tube than using these. But for large fish they're brilliant. Like in Europe, you hook a big fish on these, because of the way they fight, they generally you won't have a problem with them, you won't cause any damage at all. So but there's our hook range. Like I say, they're all available in barbed, micro barbed and the 3 different colours. So if you get to a Vardis stockist near you, and I'm sure you'll be able to pick up a packet, and I'm sure you'll be very happy with them, and to be fair you'll be hard pushed to find anything sharper. So good luck, and I'll see you soon.